Helium HIP 39, or the redenomination HIP, has officially been pushed back from the preliminary release date of February 1st with no definitive date mentioned just yet. However, it is still planned to happen this quarter. The implementation will immediately multiply everyone's HNT by 1,000 and proportionally adjust the price of HNT by a factor of 1,000. As a reminder, the market cap does not change as a result of this, only the underlying bones per HNT will be affected. This, along with the Coinbase exchange listing, are certainly the most anticipated Helium events for early 2020. It's also interesting that the two are rather closely related, as the rollout of such a redenomination needs to be coordinated between all the developers, exchanges, etc. This HIP has also been perhaps the most controversial, with the debate of whether it will be good or bad for the Helium network still ongoing. Many people still very worried about Helium looking like an S-coin, where others are taking a much more calculated approach. Let's take a look at some of the details in today's video. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here on the Crypto Compound channel. I hope you all are having a great day. Please hit that like and subscribe on the way in. It really helps support the channel. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the pushback of the HIP 39 Helium redenomination. This redenomination was originally estimated to happen on February 1st. It's very highly anticipated and needs to be a coordinated effort. However, it is officially being pushed back. There is no specific date given just yet. In today's video, we're going to go over some of the details. We'll talk about some of the ongoing discussion regarding whether this is a good thing, a bad thing, and all of the like. And we will also take a look at some of the price action we have been seeing, of course, given the turmoil that is ensuing in the crypto markets, most specifically in Bitcoin here. We actually mentioned the other day on Twitter that this was just before the big crash. We mentioned that it was interesting how Helium was certainly not following the herd here at this time. Of course, interestingly enough, just a few hours after that tweet is when Bitcoin really dumped down below this support here, where it was hanging around 45,500 and took a dive lower. Helium, of course, as you can see, was certainly outperforming, almost at $44 at the time of that screenshot. Of course, this is the Helium chart now. It is still very much intact. It is looking really, really good. As you can see, we have started a new structure here of higher lows, which is good. This proved to be the local bottom here after going back and retesting this $25 level. And it was a very, very strong movement upwards. Now, even after the large drawdown we just saw yesterday, we have not broken this level here, which is now acting as a very nice support for the HNT price. Time will tell where we move from here. However, on a weekly time frame, it is very interesting to see if we can get another green candle here and continue this upward momentum we have been seeing. Of course, we are only a little bit past halfway the week, so there's a lot of time left here. If we could finish this candle green, this will really set us up nice for continuing this very strong movement. Now let's take a look at some of the details here regarding this announcement. Quick update regarding the redenomination. We are pushing the timeline back from the initially estimated date of February 1st. Redenomination will still happen in this quarter, and we will share an update plan toward the end of January. So we can expect some sort of update towards the end of this month, hopefully with a definitive date. Of course, even if they do announce a definitive date, that is still certainly subject to change, as we've seen with the proof of coverage V11 rollout. Of course, there are a lot of things, there are a lot of factors in play, so I wouldn't expect the first date they mentioned really to be the final one. However, there is a point made that it is expected to happen this quarter. They do mention a few hiccups that they experienced during this process. They mention it's easily fixed, but it does take some time. As you can see here, the fix allows us to fit in some other transaction upgrades that will help ensure that there are no miscalculated transactions following the redenomination, a concern we have heard from the community. Of course, once this happens, it is very important that no transactions are miscalculated based on the number of bones or HNT or the price. So I'd rather them take their time here rather than try and rush this out sooner than later. Just down below, somebody here comments and is very direct, and they're really asking if it's certainly going to happen in Q1. There is a response, yes, before the end of Q1, and they go on to explain how the redenomination does need to be coordinated between all of the different actors in the Helium ecosystem, the Helium network, all the different exchanges, developers, apps, users, everything like that. All the underlying backend code does need to get adjusted to account for the difference in bones per HNT moving forward once this is implemented. As you can see here, there is somebody who was a hard no with regards to implementing this HIP, and they say that they can appreciate the care that is taken with this rollout. Of course, we could imagine the type of reaction that would occur if this was rolled out and the calculation somewhere was incorrect and some sort of calculation was incorrect. I'm sure it would have network-wide implications, and it would be very, very bad to say the least. Now, down below, people do start discussing whether they liked this HIP, didn't like this HIP, are excited for the rollout or not excited. And there's a few good points made down here. I'll highlight a few of them. As you can see here, someone says, fellow Heliumites, there's no need for FUD. Helium is based on real tech, real use cases, run by intelligent people in the industry, backed by intelligent money. And Helium's use case continues to grow exponentially as this technology and blockchain network continues to grow. That is a very, very good point. And it's a counterpoint to people who say that Helium is going to turn into an S-coin overnight, based on the price. And down below is an even more precise answer. Somebody says the market cap is fundamentally the only thing that matters. And look, at the end of the day, that really is the truth, and it really is the purpose of all of these changes and implementations on the network. Now, as you can see even further down below, somebody makes a really good point, and I really do agree 100% with this point. He says, my point is that every decision ultimately flows to an impact on market cap. This HIP is attempting to impact market cap in a more direct way and is unsettling to people as a result. He goes on to give some examples of the 5G HIP, the light hotspot HIP, the validator implementation, all how those are designed to make the network more valuable, to increase the market cap, further increasing the incentive model that Helium is based on. And I do agree with those points. Again, this is a very emotional thing because people don't like the idea that they think Helium will be perceived as an S-coin, and that can be seen as a very emotional argument. Below here, you can see that there is some agreement going on with regards to the value of HNT and the market capitalization and how it further drives network growth. Now, there's a lot of stuff to take into consideration here, a lot of very interesting points being made. I just wanted to highlight a few of them. However, ultimately, the vote already has happened. The HIP is going to be approved and is going through. Of course, it is now being pushed back. However, we can expect it at some point towards the middle or end of this quarter. I myself am very excited for it. And of course, as I mentioned, Coinbase is going to have to coordinate their exchange listing with this redenomination. It's very interesting to speculate whether Coinbase will list it before the redenomination or after. Of course, it wouldn't make much sense for it to list it before this redenomination happens, as I imagine it's probably rather labor intensive to now adjust the mechanism for the exchange with regards to the price and the quantity of HNT. All right, guys, that is all I had for today's video. Let me know what your thoughts are, if you're excited about this HIP, if you're not, what else you're seeing out there, if you think Coinbase is going to actually list HNT prior to this redenomination or not. I would say no, but let me know what you guys are seeing, what you think, and if you see anything regarding the Coinbase listing, please feel free to share. I would be very, very interested. I'm certainly keeping an eye out. But guys, that's all I have for today's video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Please hit that like and subscribe if you have not already. But just like that, this video is over, and I will see you next time.